tell us about that show that you have coming up.
CD release party is Saturday, the 24th of March at People's on Court, which is at the corner of the third floor, the corner of Court Avenue and 3rd Street. Doors are at 8. My friend Ryan Nora is playing first. He's an acoustic singer-songwriter from here in town. He's awesome. Another buddy of mine named Ryan Dowdy is also going to be opening. Also an acoustic singer-songwriter, phenomenal, both of them. And then I've got a band consisting of some of the names you might recognize. John Locke is playing bass. Scott Dawson's playing drums. Ross Vanderwerf and James Bean are playing guitar. Neil Stoffrigan is playing keyboards, and I think some other friends of mine are going to show up and like do some singing and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to do. I just released an album. Well, actually, that's the official release, but it's on iTunes and Amazon, and yes, right there. And I'm selling them out of my office at my house. Pretty corporate, but so you can get them off my website or Amazon or iTunes. But I've been selling them kind of, haphazardly since, or half-heartedly or haphazardly. I don't know. This is going really well. I'm so excited. No, I've been kind of selling them and giving them away to friends and stuff like that. The official release is the 24th. Of March at People's. So I'll have copies of the CD there, and I'll have t-shirts, which I'm going to pick up in about a half hour, the last run of t-shirts. And so all these guys that are friends of mine are playing, so it's going to be a blast. And we're going to start with all 10 songs on the record, play those first, and we're going to take like a 5-minute potty break, and then we're going to come back and play some of my favorite covers and, probably some Journey, keep people excited a little bit. And because that's what most people know that I do is covers, and so we'll end the night with a bunch of covers and everybody with their pants off.
Tell us a little bit about that CD.
The CD is called Side 2, and the reason I called it that is because, as I said before, most people only know me as the person that plays covers on piano and guitar. If anybody's seen me play before, that's probably what they've seen me doing. I was in the Nadas as a drummer for a long time, and done a few other little things here and there, but mostly I just play. I do doing piano shows, and I do solo guitar and piano shows where I do covers. So Side 2 is sort of the second side of my musical personality, I guess, my own songs, and every song on there is between 4 and 14 years old. And I've been writing a lot more lately, and I'm trying to actually become a professional songwriter. Like, I've got plans to move to either Nashville or LA within a couple of years. And all the new songs that I was writing, every time I would start one, I'd be like, well, you really should work on these other ones that are just kind of kicking around. And so I just decided to polish these up and do them as well as I can. And I had all the guys I was talking to you about that are playing the show came in and played on it. I did all the drums and the vocals and a little bit of guitar and some of the piano, but all the rest of the guys did all the really, really good stuff. And so, so that's how the album came about. And now I'm putting out I'm 40 years old. I've been a professional musician for 15 years, and I'm putting out my first record. It's just kind of funny. But at least it's finally done. I'm pretty excited about that. I suppose there's a couple tidbits about the album. There's one song on there called The Girl that is the oldest song on there, and it's about this girl that I knew in high school, and we're still friends today, but I always had this huge crush on her. Never told her about it, and there was one night that I was going to tell her about it, and she told me about how she was really glad that we were friends, and she could always depend on me for everything, and so I never told her what I felt. And the interesting part is that if you ever write songs, you know that you go through rewrite after rewrite after rewrite, and this song is 14 years old, and I'll bet you I've rewritten the first verse of the song 200 times, and I actually ended up recording the first original verse that I actually wrote 14 years ago. So sometimes rewrites are not a great thing, but you also have to take a few rewrites to realize that you did it right the first time. Let's see, used some auto-tune on one song so I could sound like T-Pain. That was pretty cool. Sorry. No, had a great time recording it. It was fun. Like all these things that I've been kicking around in my head for all these years, finally actually like putting them down and recording them was pretty fun, just to see how sort of my attitude about instrumentation and stuff like that changed over the course of 14 years of writing the songs, and how I thought they were originally going to be compared to how they ended up on the album. It was pretty fun. But yeah, I might be out of things to talk about unless you ask me some questions. I don't know. Do you have anything else?
See, do you have a Facebook page?
Promotion. Starting to learn about that also. My website is TonyBohnenkamp.com, which is the same spelling as it is on the album. My Facebook page is, I think they have these new things set up where you can personalize your page. So mine is facebook.com/tony.b.fans, I think is what it is. If you just search for Tony B on Facebook, it'll have a picture of my album cover as the profile picture. So shouldn't be too easy, too hard to find. And then I've got a Twitter account, which is ToneBoneDSM, ToneBoneDSM. There's a little @ sign before it. It's my Twitter thing. So those are the promotional. I'd really like a lot of people to go to the website and buy the actual physical album. Like I said, I'm selling them out of my house. I just order a scale from stamps.com, so I don't have to go to the post office anymore, which is pretty badass. And it's not only just because like I keep the most money. I mean, I basically keep all of the money that I sell from those CDs minus the shipping and the envelopes and postage and all that stuff. But I love the album cover. Like I had it. I had an idea for what I wanted on the front, so I told my friend Van Holmgren, who is an artist here in town, what I wanted, and he came up with that for me. And I saw my friend Anna Jones, who's a photographer here in town, took this, probably the greatest picture I've ever seen in my life on the 4th of July last year. There's one single firework over this Des Moines skyline, and so that's the inside art. And then my friend Jamie Graves, who's also a photographer, I asked her to go out and take a bunch of pictures of the number 2 or things that were in pairs or something like that. And so the back is a collage of her photography. And there's just all these great, and my roommate Garrett, who's a designer for 87 Central, the custom t-shirt shop downtown, I had him lay out the whole CD. And there's all these people in town that are doing such great work that you just don't, you don't have to go outside. I mean, I had to get it duplicated by a company called Disc Makers out in California because nobody in town makes CDs. So I was kind of hamstrung there. But my 2 promotional companies, which are On Pitch and Tickley, are both Des Moines-based. All the photography on my website. The guy that designed my website for me, his name is Stefan Hansen. He's from a company called Fresk. They're the ones that designed the Beer Genius down at El Bake Shop. And it's all these local people that I'm fortunate enough to know that are also super talented. And I'm so excited about how the physical album turned out that I want people to have that. And obviously, iTunes takes money off of every sale, and Amazon takes even more money off of every sale. And so I keep the most money because I did basically pay for all of this out of my own pocket. So I would like to recoup some of those costs would be nice. But bottom line, any way that people can get a hold of my music and listen to it and share it with people if you like it would be great. If you have the chance to pick up the physical album, I'm really, really happy with how that came out. And I love how it showcases some talented friends of mine. So that would be my plug for actually getting the CD. And you can load it into iTunes, and then it'll just become an iTunes thing, but at least you'll have that album there too. So I was being kind of old, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and so I always had like vinyl and cassettes and then CDs, and it's always cooler for me to just have something physical in my hands to hold on to. I don't do that as much as I used to, obviously, because iTunes and Amazon are so easy to get music from, but it's cool to look at, here's these group of songs, and then here's how that artist wanted to package them, so you not only see, well, unless it's by a major label, but you get to see the creativity of the artist on the record, but then you also see their creativity in trying to package it, or the people that are so, like in my case, my friends' creativity at work on the album cover. So that was a really long answer, but TonyBohnenkamp.com. It's there waiting for you.